Stampers, welcome to fancyforstampin.com. I'm Josie Cauler. Today I'm going to show you a few things that are coming out in the, or one thing that's coming out in the upcoming January to June mini catalog, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a sale a-bration item. The sale a-bration item that I'm going to show you is the Corner Boutique stamp set. It's 2 stamps and the blending brushes that are coming out in the new catalog. I really like these brushes. They make the blending that you do with them a lot smoother than when you use a sponge dauber or a sponge. This is the card we're going to make. As you can see, we use the Corner Bouquet stamp set, and I'm going to use the Thinking of You sentiment from the Seaside Notions stamp set, which is in the main catalog. But before we get started, let me tell you what it is you are going to need to do this. So for your cardstock, you're going to need, oops, it's stuck. You're going to need a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock. This measures 8.5 by 5.5. You're also going to need a piece of Whisper White, which measures 4 inches by 5.25. You're going to need a piece of vellum that's the same size, 4 inches by 5.25. And then you're going to need scraps of vellum, Coastal Cabana, and Whisper White. Okay, we're going to get started. My main focus today is to show you how these brushes work and how neat they are. So we're going to use our Whisper White cardstock. And the colors I chose are So Saffron, Magenta Madness, and Coastal Cabana, of course. Okay, we're going to start with the Magenta Madness. And some people have said they just have one brush per color family. These just wash out with a little bit of warm water, and you can use a little bit of mild soap on it. So I haven't gotten that far. I haven't gotten to the point where I've got one for each color family, and I still haven't decided how I'm going to store these. I think a pencil holder with these sitting up in there would be good, but I haven't gotten that far yet. So we're going to start with the, what did I say this was? Magenta Madness. Duh. Okay, so we'll tap the brush in there, just like that. Ink up the brush, and then we'll start. We always start off the cardstock, so I'm going to start down here and just bring it across in circles. And I need more ink, so I'll ink it up and add a little more. I think it gives a nice, smooth blend of the colors. You can hear my husband talking to the cat in the background. I think he talks to the cat more than he talks to me, but whatever. Okay, so I think that's enough of the Magenta Madness. We'll just set that off to the side. Now we need another brush for the blue. I think this is the one that I used for the Coastal Cabana. And again, we start off to the side of the cardstock and just bring it across. Need a little more ink. Okay, when I first did this card, I wasn't sure what I was looking for, so I don't know about you, but when I'm making something, creating something, it's a lot of trial and error for me. So sometimes I go through a lot of cardstock. I'll show you some of the other versions of this card. Let me add a little more of this on here. Okay, there's that. And now the So Saffron up at the top. And I'm going to flip my cardstock. Oops. I always manage to get ink on my fingers. and put it where I don't want it to be. It's my So Saffron. We might be able to cover that little spot. We don't need that there either. So you can make this as light or as dark as you want. Oh, see what happens when you just go straight down onto the cardstock? You get a big blob there. Let's see if I can darken the rest of this up so it matches a little. There we go. Now it doesn't look so bad. Okay, I'm going to put that off to the side. Okay, when I first did this card, I did my blending, and then I stamped in black ink directly onto the Whisper White cardstock and put a piece of vellum over it. And it looks nice, but it wasn't what I was going for. So then I blended my colors, and I used gold embossing powder. Why am I holding it sideways? Gold embossing powder, and put a piece of vellum over it, and it still wasn't what I was going for. So I said, okay, 3 times a charm. So I blended my cardstock and set that off to the side, and I decided, let's try embossing with gold embossing powder right here on the vellum. Whoops, what was that? Oh, that was my stamp set. And some dies that I'm going to need. Let me grab a baby wipe here so I can wipe off my hands. Well, geez, where did they go? Who knows? Anyway, what was I doing? Okay, we're going to put some gold embossing on this piece of vellum. So I need my embossing buddy. Do we still sell these? I'm not sure if we do. Oh, this is my new one. Okay, my embossing buddy. And I'm going to run some embossing buddy powder over my vellum. This gets rid of the static energy or electricity. That's energy. Next I need my Corner Bouquet stamp set. This is the one I'm using, this stamp. And I need some Versamark ink. And I'll ink this up real good. And I haven't done one of these videos in a while, so I don't know what I'm doing. I think it's been a little over a month. We're going to stamp this in the bottom left corner of the vellum. Perfect. And then we're going to put some gold embossing powder over it. Okay, and I like to have a little paintbrush handy to clean up spots that you don't want the embossing powder on. And there aren't too many because we use that embossing buddy. Okay, so now this is ready to be heated. I'm going to do that and I will come right back. Okay, so I've got that embossed. I don't know about you, but I mean, I hardly had that Magenta Madness ink pad in my hand, and it's everywhere. But being creative, I found, is not a tidy process. It is very messy. So it is what it is. Okay, so there we've got that done. Okay, next thing we want to do is cut a white oval using the Stitch Shapes oval. Well, out of Whisper White cardstock. We're going to do that. Then we're going to cut, while we're over at the cutting machine, we're going to cut out a Coastal Cabana layering oval die, because this white one is going to fit over that. And using a stitch-shaped oval, we're going to cut an oval out of this piece of vellum. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my 3 ovals cut out. My Whisper White with the stitch shapes, and the vellum with the stitched shapes, and my Coastal Cabana scalloped oval from the layering ovals dies. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little color to this oval, and let's see what's left on my brushes. We're going to start with the bottom, Magenta Madness. I don't sound very organized today, do I? Good Lord. Okay, and then we're going to add a little Coastal Cabana to the middle. There was just enough left on there. And let's see, so saffron, do we have any left on there? We do. I think we need a little more Coastal Cabana on there. There we go. It's going to be under the vellum, so it'll be okay. Since we're adding more, let's add more. There we go. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Now we'll set that aside. Next thing we're going to do, we need to emboss Thinking of You on here. So we're going to run the embossing buddy over the vellum oval, and with Versamark we'll stamp Thinking of You. I know normally you stamp and then you cut out, but I like to do it this way. The only problem is then you have to stamp straight, and I think I did okay. So we'll put some embossing powder on here. And we will heat this up. Okay, I got that done. Now all is left is assembly. So this is how I put the stamped vellum over the colored cardstock that we created. I put just a tiny small amount of adhesive right back here, right there, and I put it on. You won't even be able to see it. Okay, and then we're going to put more adhesive behind the oval, but this is how I did the oval. I used a glue dot behind the Thinking of You, and I tried to put it in a inconspicuous place, which is hard to find, and I attached it like that on my colored oval. Okay, and then I use adhesive to attach both of those to my scalloped oval. Okay, and this scalloped oval is going to go, let's say right about there on this card. So I'm going to put some adhesive behind it, underneath the vellum, because it'll be covered up. Then I took dimensionals behind this whole setup. Oh, not yet. I need some ribbon. I need some, what is this called? Gold trim ribbon, metallic edge ribbon. It's gold. And this is how I did this. Over the spot where I put adhesive behind the vellum, I ran another little bit of adhesive, and I just laid it down. 1, 2, 3, just like that. And I cut it. Oh. Let me get a little more adhesive under there. Nope, I think there's enough. Just like that. And this goes over. Okay, so there we have the front of the card. We just need to attach it to the base. And I used dimensionals again. I just had them in my hand. Here they are. See what I mean? Creativity is not a tidy process. You'll always end up with a big mess when I'm making something. Oh, I didn't get one in that corner. Okay, I'll put that on there in the middle, just like that. And what we have left to add are some gilded gems. These are in the holiday catalog. Let me get a I want a big one right about here. And the next size. Right there. And a little one right there. There we go. We're done. And you can't even see the mistake I made when I had ink on my fingers. So, that's it. Coming out in sale a-bration. With every $50 purchase, you can get this stamp set, Corner Bouquet. The blending brushes will be in the mini catalog. They were, I think, $11 for 3, and that's not bad. Use 1 per color family. I mean, you can't go wrong. So, I hope you enjoyed your visit here today. Until next time, have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and happy stamping.